Hi guys! So in this series of videos, I'm going to talk about linear equation. So first part of the linear equation that we're going to talk about is slope of a line. So what is slope of a line? Slope of a line is defined as rise of a line divided by run of a line. So what is rise and run in a line? So imagine we have a line here and we make a triangle. Okay, here's our triangle, and now here is the rise and here is the run. So imagine you have a line and the rise is like, let's say 13 units, and run is say 7 units, right? So what is the slope of a line? Slope of this line is basically 13 over 7. So that's the first point that we should understand in a line, that what is the slope of a line, because the slope of a line have a lot of application. Then we will see in a question that I'm gonna tell you. So one example is that, let's say we have a coordinate plane here, right? And there's a line. Okay? Now we have 2 points in this line. 2 points are determined. 1, 2, 3. Here 1, 2, and 3. So what are 2 points? Let's say it's one and a half and 3. And there's another point that we have in this line, which is this one, right? So this point here is 0 and 2, right? So what is the slope of a line in this example? So we see the line goes from like basically infinity to infinity, right? But we just need to take one segment of a line, and then based on that we can determine the slope of a line. So what is the slope of a line here? Let's see. So when we get this part of a line, this is the segment that we have actually information about, right? So I'm gonna make a triangle here. So how much this line, what is the rise of this line? It goes up from here to here, right? So it goes from 2 to 3. So the rise of the line is 1. And what is the run of the line? It goes from 0 to 1.5. Okay? So slope of this line is equal to 1 over 1.5. Right? So that's how you determine slope of a line in a given line. So you find out 2 points and you find the x and y coordinate, and then there you can have the slope of a line with it. Another kind of question that can be asked is that, so we have slope, and the question is draw a line based on the slope. So let's say we have slope of 11 over 6, okay? And the question asks us, draw a line that represents this slope. So the first thing we should do, we make a coordinate plane, right? 1, 2 basically has like units here, right? So what we can get from here? 11 over 6. So what it means is that the rise over run is 11 over 6, right? 11 divided by 6. So it means the line goes up 11 units and goes to the right 6 units. So the way we can draw this line is to start from point 0, 0 here. Okay, so it goes up 11 units. So we should have a coordinate that goes up 4, 5. Let's say it's 5 over 6. So it's easier for us to draw it, right? So it goes up 5 units, and at the same time it goes toward the right 6 units. Okay, so 5, and then here are 6 units. So this is our first point from 0, 0, and it goes to point 6 and 5. And here is our line. So that's the line that represents the slope of 5 divided by 6. Now you might ask, is there any other way to draw this line? Yes, there's other ways. What is the other way? So imagine our beginning point was not at 0 and 0. It was at 1 and 2 here. Okay? That's our beginning. Okay? And then again, the same principle applies here. We have rise, we have run. So what is rise? 5. So from here we go up 5 units. So from 2, if we go up 5, it means we end up at 7. Okay? And when we have a run at 6, so it means from 1 we again end up here at 7. Okay? So that's the other point, that's one point. Then we're going to connect this point, and you see there is another line that represents the slope of 5 over 6. Another point that we should understand, that it doesn't matter how many segments you make in a line, all the segments have the same slope. So if I take this segment of this line, or this segment of this line, they're going to be the same slope. So in this example, let's see. For example, we have here 3. Let me draw a new line here, because this is not a good example for that. I'm going to draw a new line and show you the segments are not important. One line have the same slope in all the segments. Okay? Here, let's say that's our line. So we have, let's say, talking about this segment from here to here. Okay? So what is the rise? 1. What is the run? 1. What is the slope? 1. Rise over run. 1 divided by 1, right? Let's say we have this segment now. -1, -2 here, -1, and -2 here, right? Let's say we have this segment from here to here. 2 and 2. This segment. So what is the rise? And what is the run? It goes from -2 to +2. So it's +4 rise. And what is the run? It goes from -2 again to +2 again, +4. So what is the slope again? 4 divided by 4, which is 1. So it doesn't matter what segment you take, it's always the same slope. Another point I want to make here, to just pay attention, we have a negative slope as well. And when that happens, when the line goes down, basically, in a simple word, if I want to say, So I'm gonna draw it here. So we go from 0, 0 to here. This is another line, right? So what's the rise? The rise is basically -2, because we go from 0.0 and 0 to point -2 to point 2 and -2. So we basically go down, so the slope of a line is going to be negative. Basically the rise is negative here, -2 over +2. The run is positive, but the rise is negative because we're going down, which is -1 again. Okay, so the next part, let's say if we have 2 points in a coordinate plane, if we have 2 points, what will be the slope? Can we determine that based on the information we have? Let's say we have two slope. I'm going to divide this part. We have 2 points. With the coordinates of 4 and -5. And then we have F. So the points is 8 and 6, okay? And the question asks us, if we have a line that passes these 2 points, what is the slope of that line? So the first thing we can do is that actually draw the line and see what's the slope, okay? Here. Okay, so we have point, so we know that this is x and this is y, okay? So our x is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and our y is -5. Here is our first point, E. Another point is 8 and 6. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. This is F. So the line passes through E and F. Okay, here. So now we can understand what's the slope, because we know now we can see the rise and run, right? Slope equal to, again, rise over run. So what is rise here? You go from -5 to +6. So from -5 to +6, there are 11 units, right? 11 over, what is the run? We go from 4 to 8. 4 to 8, we have 4 units. So slope of this line is 11 over 4. But actually drawing a line, every time that question asks us, okay, what's the slope of a line that we have these 2 points in it, it's not practical. We cannot always draw the line. So is there any formula that we can use to determine actually the slope of a line? So one thing we can do, like let's use this example basically. So we have E and F. Where did this 11 come from? It came from 6 minus 5. Is that correct? Because we know it goes from -5 to 6. So what's the difference between these two numbers? So that's how we can find the difference. 6 minus -5. And where did the 4 came from? It was 8 minus 4, right? 8 minus 4. Can we apply it for any kind of question that give us 2 points? Yes. So what is it? 6 minus minus 5. 6 minus minus 5. So we basically subtracted the y coordinate of point E from y coordinate of point F here. And then we subtracted the x coordinate of point E from x coordinate of point F. What is the formula? The formula is very straightforward and simple. So for any given 2 points, any given point that we have on a line, we can determine the slope of that line. How? Here. So we have point number 1, point A, basically, x1, y1, and then we have point B, x2, y2. Now how we can find the slope of the line that passed through A and B? Slope is equal to, we take any of this, so y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. How did I understand which one should I subtract from the other one? It doesn't matter. How come? Another way to say it, slope equal to y2 minus y1 x2 minus x1. So it doesn't matter if here is y1 or y2, but at the same time here it should be divided with x1 and x2. Like if it's y1 here, it should be x1 here. If it's y2 here, it should be x2 here. So that's important, that we take, like we say, okay, point A is my point number 1 and point B is my point number 2. Or I can say point A is my point number 2, point B is my point number 1, and then subtract them and then divide them. This is an important formula that we can determine slope of a line based on this formula.